Sa ngayon, we may disagree kasi hindi pa ganyan ang nakagawian. But years later or months later, we may agree with you. So if you feel na may ganun kayong kakayanan to convince us, given the time that you have now, then go ahead. But if not, then there are the templates and the formulas, and it's not wrong to follow formulas. Maski mga indie, maski pulp fiction, they followed formulas, ginulo-gulo lang, hinalo-halo, but they're still formulas. So in the end, you can go formula. To make it easier, you can go narrative box, or you can go very cinematic or quiet, and okay pa rin. Or you can have 15 minutes na no dialogue, na totally go visual, then okay rin. Or there are so many things you can do. Or you can have a film where I am not seeing anything because it's about blindness, and yet I'm seeing a lot because I'm not seeing anything. Or yung walang sound kasi sa deaf. You can go wherever you want. Number 7, does it have a compelling protagonist, both sa labas at loob? Na-discuss natin sa workshop yung tao sa labas at tao sa loob. So, I think naintindihan nyo, ibig sabihin na compelling siya. Nakikita ko yung tao sa loob niya, tao sa labas. But, you may have a material na walang tao sa loob or walang tao sa labas, or very passive material, reactionary character lang siya, na parang fairy tale or parable or allegory, that is also okay. So, you can violate number 7. Pwedeng, I want him to be every Filipino. So, wala talaga siyang loob, walang bubog, walang backstory, every Filipino. So it can also work. But that is your decision. Okay? So maraming ibang paraan aside from this. Number 8, usually ang protagonist may problemang kinakarap. What if? What if ganito? What if ganito mangyari? Yun yung simula ng kwento, sabi natin kanina. So interesting ba yung what if? Hindi pwedeng ang what if is, what if walang baon si Noel papuntang eskwelahan? Anong mangyayari? O interesting ba yung kwentong yun? Hindi naman siya sustainable, yung dilemma niya. Pero pag sinabi natin, what if walang baon si Noel sa eskwelahan? Ano bang pwedeng gawin nating mas mahirap yung problema? Doon siya sasagutin ng girlfriend, di pumunta siya maski walang baon. Dapat solid yung problema eh. Anyway, basta kailangang solid. Kung hindi, easily, di magbaon ka, hindi kumain ka, dapat hindi ganun kadali isolve. So may problema sa labas, external, at may problema sa loob. Kaya mahirap isolve. Okay, number 9. Anong klase ang mundo ng protagonist? May mundo siyang ginagalawan. And then, dahil sa problema niya, na hinarap, may gagawin siya. Anong gagawin niya? And then, pag ginawa niya yun, may matututunan siya. Sabi natin, may natutunan siya na unaware need. And then, yung natutunan niya, usually yun ang theme. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng kwento. So that's a 12. But I'm saying it's a formula because you don't have to follow. Depende sa boses niya. But if you follow the formula, it may become easier. At least may reference point ka. What do I mean? Anong formula? One situation lang. Ninakawan ng cellphone siya, mag-e-exams na bukas. At nandun sa cellphone ang notes niya. It's a one situation thing, one problem thing na isang teenager. The situation here is, dapat ang situation laging merong wala. Kasi kung meron lahat yan, walang kwento yan. Ano ang wala dito? Walang justice, not to come. May exams kinabukasan. Mahal niya yung anak niya, nawala yung anak. Ang daming wala. Pag maraming wala, reach ang potential ng kwento para patakbuhin. Or one long night, or one long day. It became easier for me to think of the story because I wasn't thinking of the story. I was thinking of the kahon. Ang inisip ko lang yung 3 chapters ng years. Hindi ko alam yung mangyayari. But because inisip ko yun, madali ako naka-improvise. So one step that you can do, one thing you can do sa lahat sa inyo is think of a kahon. There are many boxes. Ang tawag natin doon, narrative boxes. One box is mentor-mentee, or another box would be yung nakulong sa isang sitwasyon lahat. Breakfast Club, or Lost in an Island, na strand, or nakulong dahil sa earthquake, or nakulong dahil pandemic, na-lock-in sa isang hotel. Then may 3 nakulong, or 2. Kwento nila, that entire night na nakulong. That's the lost narrative box. The kahon makes it easier to flesh it out. In 15 minutes, you can tell so much already. Then, think of a box. If you want it na medyo may guide kayo in writing. Of course, hindi naman laging think of the box. The others may do it differently. Ano pa bang mga ibang box? Coming of age or coming out sa gay. Yun. But you have to think of a situation and an issue that matters to you. So, for practical purposes din naman, marami pa namang steps at panahon, then go pragmatic. Ganun muna. In much the same way din sa pelikula I was telling you kanina, a more practical, pragmatic way is to go step by step, then go formula muna. Go naka-narrative book box muna na flow of life, one entire night, and etc. Di yun muna. Ikahon nyo muna sa sarili nyo. Knowing na in the future, hindi naman kayo laging magpapakahon. Pero for practical purposes, ikahon nyo na muna para ma-master nyo yung kahon. Baka hindi nyo ma-master kasi kung masyado na kayong inclusive sa simula pa lang. So, in the end, pag-aralan nyo yung sarili nyo. Kung magkakaiba kayong antas sa buhay nyo at sa career at sa growth nyo, hindi pag-aralan nyo kung nasaan kayong step. Ready na ba kayong mag-to-inclusive o step by step muna or andador muna o kahon muna. Go pragmatic, go feasible. Huwag nyo lang kalimutan yung boses nyo. Huwag kayong magpakulong dun sa formula. they're so poetic and photographic and cinematic. And ang dami namang pelikulang that are so theatrical, so dialogue heavy, na bumabaga siya sa pagiging cinematic, na nagiging mas effective siya. Precisely because binabangga mo kanyang theatricality o dialogue, etc. Na nanonood ako, and yet I'm forced to imagine because of the dialogue. And I hope you're aware of that, because when you do your short films, it does not matter if it's very theatrical or journalistic or parang documentary na parang fiction. It doesn't matter. So long as you make us believe, you convince us, you grip us with the power of your storytelling, then it wouldn't matter anymore to me if documentary ba siya o hindi siya documentary. I would not even worry. Or theater ba siya o hindi stage lang ba siya o hindi. Importante, kung powerful yung effect sa akin at maraming natanggal na harang sa akin, then go.